Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's your girl, Ninakaisimone, and today I'm here to review Atlanta Housewives Season 5, Episode 23, Reunion Part 3. So I didn't watch it last night, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to watch, pause it, and then I'm going to go ahead and I guess give my more so reaction, kind of like what Bondi Blue does. Shout out to Bondi Blue, by the way. So y'all give me a second. We're gonna go right on in on these ladies. I really didn't review the first two parts because I felt like they were kind of slow. So far, all that I've gathered is that I still don't like Kenya. Phaedra got attacked a little bit by both Nene and Kenya. I do kind of feel like Kandi, child. Phaedra might have been a little wrong for going to Nene's family, but I feel like that probably wasn't all the way true on what we said. I mean, they might have both been talking shit, because if I was related to Nene, I probably wouldn't like her ass all that much either. They probably got mad at Phaedra about something and then went back and told her. Either way, it's wrong. I don't think you should be messing with people's family. But at the end of the day, Phaedra and Kandi are still my favorites. And we're going to go right in with this part 3. Okay, so Andy, like, you guys were so nice to Kim. I couldn't believe you guys were so nice to Kim. And to me, it's like Kim is no longer a factor to these ladies. She's no longer in their life, telling them that she ain't going out with them and all that stuff. So right now, they should have been nice to her. All the shit she did in the beginning of the season, they probably can't even remember all of it, don't care about it. And then Nene pull out her phone talking about Kim sent her a text talking about one day maybe they could be friends again, and Nene said she'll wish her well. But this is the reason that I really do not like Nene. I mean, Nene has grown on me. She's came a long way, because Kenya was here this season. She didn't, and she was working most of the time. She didn't have the opportunity to sink her teeth into these ladies the way that she usually does. But my thing is, so he said, oh, it's nice pulling her real hair, and Nene gonna throw shade like that's not her hair. Do you care? Is that your hair on your head? Hell no. This whole part, your hair back here, the little 8-up part that's not even all the way brown, it's like caramel colored. This up here is it ain't a 27 piece, because it wasn't 27 pieces. It's like 13 pieces of platinum blonde stuff. It look cute today, but Nene hair, when she turned like this, you see that 8-up caramel part, and I don't know what's wrong with that. I do like her dress though, even though she's too big for it. I do like her dress.
Girl, she seems uncomfortable with the situation.
I mean, I'm not gonna say that, you know, quote unquote shacking up is good for everybody, but our relationship, it happened quick, but it didn't happen as quick as I guess, you know, it looked to Riley. You know, for a while we did keep our relationship kind of secret and hush hush, because he did work on the show.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like, you know, we were only dating a month and then he moved in. That wasn't true.
I think when you start dating and you actually meet somebody that you really like, it is so important and such a deal breaker if you have a child.
Okay, let me stop right there. They just did the little thing where they showed Kandi and Todd and how their relationship has grown through the season. And I do like Todd, you know. I do remember the rumors that I was reading on Media Takeout that he was in a relationship with someone before Kandi, and she tried to say that he just with Kandi for the money and all that stuff. And my whole thing is, Kandi don't spend that much money. I mean, people always calling her, talking about she a sugar mama, but the way Kandi lived, gold digger couldn't live like that. You know what I mean? Like, bitch, what you mean? Can we get some money? Can we go shopping? Can we do this? Can we do that? And they showed how Nene did throw shade at her ring. And Nene like, what shade did I throw? And Kandi like, well, I felt like you was trying to say, how could I like something at that price or whatever. My whole thing is, Nene, who the fuck bought your ring? Because I know Greg, old retired ass, didn't buy it. Social Security do not pay that much to be affording that big ass diamond ring you got. You know Glee and the new normal pay for that motherfucking ring. So don't play with me or yourself. I don't really think it's their business how Kandi relationship is going. And I also don't think the person who made that comment about sex toys and praying don't mix. Christian you who just said that, you know, that's kind of why I won't say I don't really care for church people who are real into the church. And the reason why I don't care for them is because they're hypocrites. They'll live one way within the church boundaries in front of the church people, but at home they live another way. It shouldn't matter who says that she can't be in love with God and she can't pray because she sells sex toys. Because I know, like y'all know, half you bitches in the church didn't bought one. And Cynthia, nobody asked your opinion. Walter said, bitch.
You and Walter had a discussion about marriage?
We always have discussions about marriage.
Now y'all know Kenya asked was lying about getting married to Walter. See, that's, you know, your people know you. You know your people know you when they go ahead and be like, girl, you been with him 2 years and I ain't never met him. What's wrong with him? But her auntie said they're wrong. What's wrong with you? You ain't been with him no 2 years? Hell, you don't seem like y'all been together 2 months. Andy asked Kenya about the whole situation with Walter. And, you know, he said that Walter went on the radio and said that Kenya paid him to come be her boyfriend for the show so that she can get cast on the show. And he said that Bravo know absolutely nothing about that, which I'm sure they didn't. But either way, they would have cast Kenya anyway, so it's a dumb ploy. I do believe she did it, though. You know, Kenya, since she's been on the show, I feel that she has a fake spirit. And that she be lying. Like, girl, that man didn't seem like he wants you. And as much as I can't stand Nene, she read y'all down. She was absolutely right. She like, is that her boyfriend? It don't seem like it. And Phaedra is just over in the corner laughing because she thinks this is too cute. But honestly, Kenya can try to spin it any way she wants to here on national TV, but I know that her and that man was not together like she said. They didn't even seem like they had no distant relationship, because if you was in a distant relationship with that man and he really wanted you to be in Atlanta, when you came, he would be all over your ass. But that's how I know that ain't true, girl. Stop telling them lies, Kenya Moore. By the way, Kenya Moore has officially blocked me on Facebook for all the stuff I done said back and forth to her. I mean, not Facebook, Twitter. I will not apologize, bitch, and eventually you will forget and unblock me so I can talk more shit about you now. This is low budget video. I do not have a fan, but I do have a piece of paper. And flirting does not make you a whore. Yes it does. When you flirting with somebody else, man, right in front of them, girl, yes it does. It's a certain way to talk to a man that you might think is attractive without flirting with him. But you don't do that with some married man, and you're doing it right in front of his damn wife. I mean, at the end of the day, Phaedra like, girl, look, you like, so if you trying to get with this man and be married, why the hell is you flirting all the way over here? I just want to get to the part where they get on the phone. I mean, where she's talking about Apollo be texting her all the time. Can we just get to that? Like, it's a whole 40 minutes of nowhere land. I'm getting bored. This is why I would not review her right there. She always, like Andy said, Kenya always talking about Phaedra assassinating her character, but she called Walter gay. She said being gay is not assassination of character. It is if it ain't true, bitch. You know that's slander. That man ain't gay. I don't even know Walter. I don't care about Walter. But to me, I can't stand when people try to label a person by being gay. It's nothing wrong with being gay. But you know, for most parts of society, if you call a person out and call them gay, you know, certain people gonna feel certain ways about them. And I feel that you did that on purpose. And it just wasn't right. Bitch, you might as well go gay, because you ain't gonna never get a man now. Cheat. So now, this is why I call Kenya a liar. Because now she trying to say that her and Walter got into a fight on the last night in Anguilla because she wanted to know if he was gay or not. Bitch, that don't even make sense. You was trying to marry him, and now you want to say he gay because he don't want to marry you? Child. For all you Kenya Moore fans out here, I wish y'all could see the lies and the fuckery that is Kenya Moore. For real. I know you like where that smoke coming from. Don't worry about it. So now she's saying that she ain't never give Walter none. I'm with Kandi. So you was going to marry this man without testing it out? I mean, what if it ain't good? Kandi, you took the words right out of my mouth. You said exactly what I was thinking, but that's how you know that Kenya is a liar. That girl wasn't ever with him. That's why she never slept with him. And he might have slept with her, but because she acts so crazy, he be like, I'm going this way. He don't even like women your age. According to the sources and the pictures I've seen with him with other women, they be 25, 30 at the least.
Although I've never called you a whore because I don't do things like that. I think there's certain names you don't call women. You don't know me like that. And second of all, I'm not the one that has sex with a convicted felon fresh out of prison and got pregnant without using protection and then lied about how many months that you were pregnant. Okay? Well, you weren't there.
So when did Apollo get out of jail? That is the question, but to me, that's some fuckery because that ain't the same thing. Okay, yeah, he a felon. She slept with him. Okay, whatever. But they are, if I read correctly, they dated before he went to jail, and she just held him down. And when they got out, that's when, I mean, we know she lied about how many months she was, but you know, I don't know if they got married because she was pregnant or if they were already going to get married. I don't know. I really don't think it's nothing negative about that. Do you know how many women and men in America have shotgun weddings? Really? I mean, they get married because one person gets pregnant, you know, and it makes it more convenient in their heads to take care of their responsibilities. Either way, that's not the same thing as calling you a whore because, Kenya, you do possess the qualities of a whore. I don't know if you guys watch Finding Me a Man or Finding My Man that comes on Oxygen. They had, it was an episode about this girl that was a virgin. She was 25, but she always sat with her titties all the way out, and she was a cheerleader, so she gave off the image that she was real sexual when she really wasn't. And the lady told her to cover up them titties because you sending the wrong message. And Kenya Moore, it ain't just, you know, the way you dress. I think you dress pretty decent for somebody who's been living in LA for all these years, or someone who's from Detroit, no shade intended. But you always got to be flirty, you always got to have all the attention. Qualifies for me in my own perception, yeah, I would think you was a whore. I think if Phaedra wanted to apologize for what she sees, that's fine, but she ain't gonna do that because you don't apologize for what you see.
And so I called my friend like, yo, like, why you didn't tell me that Walter was with Kenya? And my friend was like, well, you know, he has been talking about settling down lately, so don't bust him out or whatever. I was like, okay, well, maybe he's changed. Maybe he is trying to settle down. So
Walter asked Kandi out why Kenya was going with him. I mean, why Kenya thought she was going with him. Girl, see, that's how you know he wasn't really going with Kenya. He was not going with Kenya. Oh my God. He was not going with Kenya. Why? Because Kenya lied. Stop lying the lies. I mean, you in denial about going with Walter like I'm in denial that I go with Chris Brown. You see the equation? Is this bitch finna cry because he asked her about her relationship right now? You know, at first I thought Kenya wasn't a good actress. But if she bring out the tears, I'm going to go ahead and nominate her for a BT Award, BT Actors of the Year Award. You know, that's like the lowest caliber award you can get. Bitch, have a seat.
Good. Hi, Greg Leaks. What's up, Andy?
Let me just look at the husbands for a minute. Apollo is shocked. He was already fine, but now he's shocked. Even Greg, you know, I always talk about he didn't touched up his roots, because remember he was like this part black and this part gray. He got his glasses on. He actually looks handsome. I can kind of see why Nene, you know, just be in love with him a little bit. Yeah, I've been watching this show too long, but they look nice. I like Peter's suit jacket, but I do not like the plaid underneath. He looked like that guy on Project Runway. No shade, but yeah, they look really cute. And Greg and Nene kind of matching a little bit. He got on blue, she got on blue. Okay. But I think Apollo, he definitely wins the runway show look with this song. Because I don't know what it is, but I love the bow ties now. You know, I really do love the bow ties on me. Here comes the shade. Hey, Todd. Congratulations on your engagement. Hey, Greg. Congratulations on your engagement. Hey, Portia. Where's Cordell? He actually had to work. You know, he works on his radio show and he doesn't get off till 6. Andy, I swear you is the messiest queen.
About coming on the show and pretending to be in a relationship. Do you believe that to be true?
Yeah, I believe he was promoting his tow truck company. If that's what you're asking me. You know, because I don't believe they were ever in a relationship. And from everything that we saw, that you saw, that everyone saw, like 10 million people saw, they were never together. So we can't all be wrong.
Is it disheartening to you that these 9 people don't believe that you were in a relationship with him?
Well, let's be clear. Not all 9 people have said that, so let's not put words in people's mouths.
Well, let's take a poll.
But
who here believes that they were in a relationship? I want to know. I mean,
No damn body.
Define relationship.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they were dating. I don't think he was serious enough to be thinking marriage, but I think that they were dating.
Okay, well, do you believe Walter's claims that he came on this show and was pretending?
I think Walter was pretending, absolutely.
Well, his claims are that you put him up to it.
I didn't put him up to anything.
Greg from Michigan wants to know why the guys feel it was necessary to keep inviting Walter around. It's obvious that he was using you guys to be on the show. Why give him the satisfaction?
I don't think Walter was using us for anything. Walter is, is pretty much self-made. We would sometimes call Walter and say, hey, we're going here, we're doing this, come on. We thought he was, part of the team.
I was never friends with Kenya. I really don't know her, to be honest.
He don't like your
I spend more time around him. It had nothing to do with her.
I think it's really interesting if it had nothing to do with me. When Walter was going to make his radio press tour, he called Peter, and he also called Apollo, and he also called Todd to get their advice. And I thought that was really interesting because...
And we were all on the phone, and we all tell him that you shouldn't do it. Let's just put that out there. But at that time, Walter was saying that there was allegations made about him.
So he wanted to clear his name.
He just wanted to clear his name.
As far as the homosexual, allegations that you said about him and so forth. And at the end of the day, he was called to the radio station. It's not like Walter had a publicist and was seeking to get on the radio.
No,
they called him.
He's free.
Yes, he does. Yeah. And also Phaedra has something to do with this, too. Because Phaedra supposedly represented Walter at some time.
And when they called me, I was in Alabama in school getting ready to take an exam. So I ain't have nothing to do.
I was told by a good source
that
at some point...
Good source.
Well, you know that Walter was trying to clear his name. He felt like,
everybody.
And he feels like he has to defend himself some kind of way.
The truth doesn't need defending.
Bitch. First, I got to say, Peter is going off. He like, listen, bitch, I do not like you. I do not like your ass at all. We did tell his ass not to go on the radio, but you shouldn't have been calling him gay. Come on now.
Because I've dated celebrities, men that are high profile, who are very wealthy, who have real wealth, and you will not ever find one that has ever spoken anything unkind about me. That says something about me.
You were speaking negatively about him on the show.
No, I did not. I said the facts were, and get this right, Andy, what I question him about. That's not speaking negatively about
questioning
anyone.
a man about his sexuality on national television is something that a man would want to respond to.
I think that it was a preemptive strike.
You want to marry this guy, but then you'll come out and then you'll say these negative things about him.
That was after the fact.
Your heart was so sunken into the fact that you wanted to marry this guy. So if you wholeheartedly wanted him to marry you, you wouldn't go out with those allegations.
What I said is the facts and what happened.
Yeah, but what were the facts? That's what I'm asking you. Maybe you're telling us something that we haven't seen.
It was a charade. Yeah. You needed a man to court you onto this platform.
No, sweetheart,
and therefore
that's not what happened.
And that's what it was. And that's what it was.
Even gonna
and then therefore when it exploded, then therefore you backlashed and you said what you had to say about that.
I'm not even going to address that because that's not the truth. We've already talked about it. So next.
That's the truth.
Now, what you know, before you can go to the next thing, what we can't do, you can't go on national TV and try to blast somebody's head off and don't want to do.
I am fabulous and I will always be fabulous, okay? In fact, I am going with the wind, fabulous, okay, sweetheart?
That's another promotion,
baby.
Big
stress.
You're fabulous. You're in the bathroom, homeboy, and you do nothing. You're that fabulous. Well, man. Sit your ass down. That's another promotion.
Thank you.
Sit your ass down. That's another promotion.
Thank you.
Like we as men, real men, since you should like to put that out there, we like to come out here because Walter's not here to defend himself.
Right, and he's very upset that he's not here.
He wasn't invited.
Because he's fabulous. I'm going with the wind.
All right.
Get you garbage.
Thank you. Auto-tune, folks. Wow. You guys are upset on behalf of your friends.
Yeah, we're pissed off because you can't blast your mouth off and say stuff about somebody that you say you were in love with, that we watch you chase all season, because it didn't go your way. That's crazy. And he's not here to defend himself. Okay? And anytime she get caught in the middle, she's going to get up and twirl. Because that's what she do. That's what she do. Okay.
Peter need to do stand up.
Apollo, how do you feel about Kenya now, knowing that, you know, she and your wife are at odds?
Well, I dislike Kenya to the fact of, from the business perspective, I don't really know much about her. You know, and then to say that she slept with a convicted felon and whatnot, this is an educated convicted felon. You didn't have enough money to produce your own video. Anyways, at the end of the day, you know, I really don't care much for her.
Maybe you should stop texting me then.
Stop texting?
Because you don't care much for me.
Wow. So if you really want to, if you stop texting, you've been texting me. Since we left Anguilla, you've been trying to get with me. I was in LA at the Beverly Wilshire. She was trying to get with me. Yeah, and then I had to check out the Beverly Wilshire and go to the Lux Hotel because she was trying to get with me. Tell me I would do to you what your wife don't do to you. Come on, baby. Come on. Really? If you really want to go, if you really want to go there,
you're on the text right here.
Every time you see me, every time you see me, you want to try to get with me.
Right.
These don't look like. Exactly. This is not like sex still.
No sex. When I got off the stage from Wendy Williams show, what you did? Oh, you look good, baby. I said thank you.
And that's why I called her a whore.
Okay. Down to a whole nother level.
So this is interesting. Well, now we find out, Phaedra, you called her a whore because she was texting your husband.
And he told me about it. And he called me.
Apollo has always initiated texts with me, and they were perfectly friendly at first.
At first? How far to go? You trying to chase me down and get on me?
You down?
Come on.
Okay.
Hold on now. So if these texts are really messed up, Randy, why don't you go plug her phone up to the monitor and let them bitches roll so we can be the judge of what them say. I want to say I would hope that Apollo wouldn't be stupid enough to go fuck around with Kenya, but at the end of the day, you know, I don't really know Apollo that well, and sometimes he seemed a little shady. Like I just felt like, you know, when he picked her up by her ass and threw her in that pool, I kind of lost all respect for him because I was just like, that's a big no-no. And if he was my husband, I wouldn't have to tell him that because he would already know I would have cut his fucking fingers off and snatched the wig off that bitch all at the same damn time. Just tell Phaedra she might want to get an AIDS test. Kenya. See, that's why I say mean about defaming people's character. Now, you said you were offended that Phaedra called you a whore, but you saying that you are basically saying that Apollo was in jail having sex unprotected with men who have HIV or AIDS, so she might want to get an AIDS test because he's a carrot. That's the type of shit, like I said, would get her cut. I understand Phaedra is a lady, and this is why I say she's a lady. Some people say, oh, she don't act like, well, do I ain't say a Southern Belle, I said a lady, because she's sitting right there and she just looking at her like, bitch, what? But see, me, I wouldn't have been able to sit there. I would have said, Nene, switch seats with me, sweetie. You and Cynthia move over here, because I'm going to get up and I'm going to knock the shit out of her. What kind of stuff is that to say about somebody? Walter K, Apollo got AIDS, Phaedra's a liar. It's like, girl, I don't really want you to come back now, because to me, I really can't see the fact that your ass is crazy. I really do think that it's something wrong up here in your mind that starts creating these crazy things to say about you.
Portia. So all I'm saying is that I just want more from my relationships from you all. I want to be strong like you. I want to have a career as well. I want to have my children, okay, that I take care of, and they know mommy's going to be home. You know, Cordell, no, I'm going to cook his meals. When you're a wife, you got to have your own independence. And that's what I saw in you, Cynthia. Even you, Kenya. I saw this in you all. You have your own independence. That's beautiful. That's all I want for me and Cordell. And I just want you all to just break down a little of the TV wall and see that we are real people. I don't force my relationship on anybody. Like I said, I love Kandi ever since I heard her first music. I didn't force a friendship on her. I loved Kenya all my life. I thought she was so classy, but she was a little bit different when I met her, and we clashed. You all are people who I have admired, and I just would like you all to look at me for who I am and not judge something from the outside, and know that if you ask me a question, I'm going to tell you what I really think. And maybe that's what led me to put our relationship, which is kind of crazy as hell, like we going through some serious stuff, and we put it on TV. But some kind of way, I think it was so we can bring some...
I felt horrible, but it's my choice to be on this show. Yeah. And we didn't have money, so what you had is a lot more than I had. While you were doing Picture Perfect, we were doing horrible.
It ain't Picture Perfect, sweetie.
It wouldn't have mattered if it was you. If Kenya didn't come to wherever we was going to, that would have been a problem for me. Wait a minute, listen. You said you know how to listen, so listen for a second, okay?
Okay.
Everybody goes through first season.
But I feel like I'm getting it, like, so much harder.
You getting it harder, Portia, because everybody know that your husband is the equivalent of Ike Turner. I just feel like, let me not text my husband here doing this video. I just feel like, I don't think she was overly attacked. I think the girls outside of Kenya, oh, it must be something on my screen. I think the girls outside of Kenya were genuine to you. Of course, they thought you was a little ditzy. I think so, too. But I think you'll be fine. I don't know if you're going to come back to the show or not, but I do think all in all that you need to divorce Cordell. Whether he just filed the papers to scare you and now y'all getting back together, leave him now. Get out of that situation. Because you say you want to be an independent woman. That's not something that's learned. That's something you figure out on your own. You see what I mean? I mean, you could be taught it. Like me, I was raised by my mother, who's very independent, who works every day, even has little side things that she comes up with to make money off of those things. I wasn't born to rely on, wasn't raised to rely on no man. I feel like in your case you were, and now what you learned, you see it ain't what it is, and now you want to unlearn it. And I think you'll be fine without Cordell. I mean, you may not be sitting in luxury, you know, but you can start over. You do a few more years of Atlanta Housewives, depending on if they will still be on. And, you can get your checks up. Just don't be spending your money like Charade did. Did y'all watch Fix My Life? I did not get a chance to look at it. I'm going to try to watch it. I know it's fuckery, it's foolishness, but I am going to look at it. And I'm going to end this video because, quite frankly, I'm kind of tired of looking at this. This is not all that fun to me. It shouldn't have been no damn 3 parts. It should have been 2 parts. I can't stand when they do that. I'm just going to play her singing. And then I'm going to go ahead and we're going to wrap this up because Love and Hip Hop is coming on tonight. I have a paper that I'm supposed to be writing. So let's get to it.
Woo! All right. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Amazing grace, how sweet is the sound that saved a wretch like me.
Yes, that was great. Portia Stewart, thank you to the husband.
Okay, so she actually could sing a little bit. You know, she's juking. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and end this review. I pretty much said how I felt about the whole season throughout this review. I don't know if I like doing it this way. Y'all let me know what you think. If you like me doing it the old way where I read my notes, or if you like me kind of watching it and going back. So if you like this video, please hit the like button. Please comment, whether they negative comments or positive comments. I really don't give a damn. We can either argue or be friends. Subscribe. And you guys can follow me on Twitter for more insight. When I do watch the shows, I do give out tweets and all those things, little funny gestures and just day-to-day life. My Twitter is ninakaisimone, and that's also the same for Facebook, Nina K. Simone, ninakaisimone. Peace. I will see y'all in about 3 hours to do the Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. I cannot wait. Time cannot go fast enough. Peace.